If you want to learn copywriting and you're trying to figure out where to actually start, this video is going to save you a lot of time. I have been writing copy professionally for 5 years across multiple markets and industries, and the foundation of everything I know came from a handful of books that I keep coming back to over and over again. Most copywriting books teach you formulas and frameworks, but the ones I'm about to share go deeper than that. They teach you how people actually think, why they buy, and how to speak to them in a way that moves them to act. That understanding is what separates copy that converts from copy that gets ignored. Here are the 5 books I will hand to anyone starting out. Book number 1, Breakthrough Advertising by Eugene Schwartz. This is the one I will recommend above everything else, and I have my copy right here. Most people who get into copywriting start by learning how to structure an ad or write a headline, and that's fine. But Schwartz starts somewhere completely different. He starts with the market, specifically with the question of how aware your reader is of their own problem and how that awareness should change everything about how you write to them. The idea, what he calls market sophistication and stages of awareness, is something I used on every single project I work on. It's the difference between writing copy that feels like it was made for someone specifically and copy that feels like it was made for everyone, which means, by the way, it reaches nobody. I have to say the book is not easy to read. It asks a lot from the reader, but the people who put in the work come out the other side thinking about copy in a way that most writers never get to. Book number 2, Scientific Advertising by Claude Hopkins. This book was written in 1923 and still one of the most useful things a copywriter can read. Hopkins was one of the first people to treat advertising as a science rather than an art. He ran tests, tracked results, principles from real data at a time when nobody else was thinking that way. What's remarkable is how little has changed. The fundamentals he wrote about 100 years ago are the same fundamentals driving campaigns today in 2026. It's really short, it's dense with insight, and you can read it in a single sitting. Do that and then read it again with a pen in your hand. Book number 3, The Ultimate Sales Letter by Dan Kennedy. If Breakthrough Advertising teaches you how to think, The Ultimate Sales Letter teaches you how to execute. Kennedy breaks down the process of writing a sales letter from start to finish in a way that's practical and immediately applicable. He covers how to research your prospect, that's really important, how to structure the argument, how to write headlines that stop people, and how to close in a way that feels inevitable rather than pushy. This is the book I would recommend if you want to go from understanding copy conceptually to actually sitting down and producing something real. Book number 5, How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. This one surprises people when I include it on a copywriting list, but here's the thing, copywriting is just persuasion, and persuasion is fundamentally about understanding people. Carnegie spent his entire career studying what makes people feel heard, respected, and motivated to act. Every principle in this book translates directly to how you write copy that connects rather than copy that just pitches. The best copy makes the reader feel like you genuinely understand them. Carnegie teaches you how to actually do that, not as a tactic, but as a way of thinking about the people you're communicating with. Book number 5, Thinking Fast and Slow by Daniel Kahneman. This is probably the most important book on this list for understanding why people buy. Kahneman spent decades researching how humans actually make decisions, and what he found is that most of our choices are made by a fast, emotional, automatic system before our rational brain even gets involved. The rational mind comes in after to justify what we have already decided emotionally. For a copywriter, this changes everything. It explains why leading with emotions works, why specificity builds trust, why social proof is so powerful, and why the way you frame something matters as much as we're actually saying. Once you understand how people are actually making decisions, you start writing to the process instead of fighting against it. You don't need to read all these 5 books before you start writing. Pick one and start. But if I had to choose a single place to begin, it's Breakthrough Advertising. Everything else will make more sense after you read it. I'm Cayãn, and on this channel I break down the real side of building a business online. Subscribe if you want more of this.